When it comes to Kanye West, controversy and creativity are two sides of the same coin. Over the years, he's redefined music, fashion, and even the boundaries of what it means to be a public figure. From the college dropout to Donda, from Yeezy to his presidential run, Kanye has never stayed in one lane for long. But his latest project in 2025 is something entirely different. Something that has even his most loyal fans deeply divided. This time, it's not just about the music. It's about art, politics, faith, and the blurred line between genius and madness. So, what exactly is Kanye up to, and why is everyone talking about it? The announcement that shook the internet. In early 2025, Kanye West stunned the world with a cryptic social media post. A new era begins. This one isn't for everyone. There was no album title, no date, no context. Just that line, accompanied by a dark, minimalist image of a metallic mask and the words Project Vulture. Within hours, the internet exploded. Some fans speculated it was a return to his musical roots. Others feared it was another polarizing social or political statement. A week later, Kanye officially revealed that Project Vulture was more than an album. It was a multimedia movement, combining music, fashion, AI-generated art, and a controversial streaming platform that he claims will give artists back their freedom. The concept sounds bold. But as always with Kanye, the execution and the messaging have left people debating whether this is his most visionary idea yet or another chaotic implosion of ego. What exactly is Project Vulture? According to Kanye's own words, Project Vulture represents the rebirth of creativity in a corrupted system. He described it as a hybrid art experiment where sound, visuals, and technology merge into what he calls the new gospel of creation. Here's what's included. 1. A new album allegedly featuring 11 tracks blending gospel, industrial, and trap, with rumored collaborations from Playboi Carti, Ty Dolla $ign, and even a surprise verse from his old rival, Drake. 2. An AI-based platform designed to help independent musicians produce, distribute, and monetize their art without major labels. Kanye claims it uses algorithmic justice, his phrase for removing bias from digital platforms. 3. A fashion capsule line made entirely from recycled and repurposed materials, representing the death of fast fashion. 4. A visual art component featuring virtual galleries where fans can interact with digital sculptures and augmented reality performances by Kanye himself. In short, Kanye wants to redefine the music industry again, this time through a mix of art, activism, and artificial intelligence. But there's a catch. Project Vulture also includes heavy religious and political undertones. In several interviews, Kanye described it as a spiritual revolution against cultural decay. That phrasing has made many fans excited and others very uncomfortable. A divided fan base, visionary or villain. As soon as details emerged, social media split right down the middle. Some hailed Kanye as a genius reinventing art once again. "He's always 10 steps ahead," one fan wrote on X. "Every time people doubt him, he changes the culture." But others weren't so sure. Critics called the project another ego trip, while some fans accused Kanye of using spirituality and controversy as marketing tactics. "It's hard to tell if he's inspiring or just manipulative," one comment read. The backlash intensified after Kanye released the first Vulture single, Heaven on Wi-Fi, a haunting, gospel-inspired track that opens with a distorted choir chanting biblical verses before diving into heavy bass and cryptic lyrics like, "I built a kingdom out of pixels and pain. They crucify truth, then they profit my name." Some praised it as genius, raw, experimental, and spiritually charged. Others found it unsettling and self-indulgent. But that's the essence of Kanye. He doesn't make music for comfort, he makes it to confront. The AI controversy, innovation or exploitation. Perhaps the most polarizing part of Project Vulture is Kanye's use of AI-generated music and visuals. He's openly admitted that parts of the album were created using an in-house AI tool designed to mimic voices, blend genres, and generate instrumental layers. In a statement, he claimed, "AI is not replacing artists. It's revealing truth through creation. It's divine technology. However, this statement sparked backlash. Many artists fear that Kanye's approach legitimizes AI use that could replace human creativity, not empower it. Some producers accused him of turning art into algorithms, while others saw it as a brave step forward. Adding fuel to the fire, Kanye announced that he trained his AI model using samples of hundreds of old gospel choirs, many of whom weren't credited by name. That prompted new questions about ownership, ethics, and consent in the age of AI art. Even fans who admire Kanye's innovation say it's hard to know whether this is truly about artistic liberation or control. Kanye's faith in the digital church concept. At the heart of Project Vulture is Kanye's evolving spiritual philosophy. Ever since his Jesus is King era, faith has played a major role in his creative expression, but now he's taken it into the digital realm. He describes Vulture as the foundation for a digital church, an online space where art, worship, and technology unite. The church of the future isn't in a building, Kanye said in one live stream. It's in the cloud. The idea is both fascinating and controversial. Supporters say Kanye is ahead of his time, blending spirituality with digital culture. But religious leaders have criticized the concept, calling it a distortion of faith for profit. Still, Kanye insists that Project Vulture is about reclaiming purity in art and faith. They said faith doesn't belong in music. I'm proving it can build empires. The return of the old Kanye? Ironically, some fans say that Project Vulture feels like a return to the old Kanye, the bold, fearless innovator from his early years. Despite its polarizing themes, the new tracks reportedly feature sharp lyricism, soulful production, and a clear creative direction that many felt was missing from his last few releases. Insiders who've heard the unreleased tracks describe them as a mix between Yeezus and Graduation with a spiritual twist. If true, it could signal one of the most exciting musical comebacks of the decade. But there's also an emotional depth here, something raw, more self-reflective. In one leaked verse, Kanye raps, "They painted me crazy, I painted my soul. Now the masterpiece is mine, not theirs to control." It's a rare glimpse into his vulnerability, the human behind the headlines. And that's what keeps people hooked. No matter how wild his ideas get, Kanye remains deeply personal. Industry reaction, respect, and rejection. In the music industry, Project Vulture has sparked fascination and fear in equal measure. Some record labels reportedly see it as a threat, especially Kanye's push for independent distribution and artist-owned platforms. One anonymous label executive told Variety, "If Kanye's AI platform works, it could destroy the current model. He's trying to replace gatekeepers with machines, and himself as the high priest of art." On the other hand, several younger artists have voiced support. Rapper Lil Nas X called the idea wild but inspiring, while Grimes, known for her own AI experiments, praised Kanye's visionary courage. Whether the industry embraces or rejects him, one thing is clear. Project Vulture has forced everyone to rethink the relationship between art, technology, and control. But even his critics admit one thing: Kanye still has the power to command attention like no one else. The bigger picture, what Kanye might be trying to say. When you strip away the noise, the politics, and the AI drama, Project Vulture may be Kanye's way of reclaiming his identity. For years, he's been labeled genius, narcissist, visionary, villain. But with this project, he seems to be redefining what it means to be an artist in an era of chaos. The vulture metaphor itself might reveal everything. Vultures are scavengers, but also survivors. Creatures that feed on the remains of a broken world and turn it into sustenance. That might be Kanye's message. He's taking what's left of culture, faith, and technology and reshaping it into something new. Whether you love him or loathe him, you can't ignore him, and that's exactly the point. Conclusion: Kanye's legacy, still unwritten. As Project Vulture rolls out, one thing is undeniable: Kanye West remains one of the most unpredictable figures in modern culture. He's a provocateur, a builder, and sometimes a destroyer of his own myth. But through all of it, he keeps creating, challenging, and reinventing. His latest project may divide fans, but it also proves that he's still fearless. still pushing boundaries when others play it safe. And in a world driven by repetition and imitation, that makes him, for better or worse, one of a kind. So whether Project Vulture becomes a revolutionary movement or another chaotic experiment, Kanye West has once again done what he does best, made the entire world pay attention. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Kanye's new project, hit like, subscribe, and comment below. Do you think Kanye's Project Vulture is genius or madness? Join our channel for more in-depth stories on music, fame, and the creators who redefine culture.